Hi, I'm Trevor Lund, and in this week's Pastor's Minute, I'm going to give you 6 ways to increase gratitude. Yeah, normally for Pastor's Minutes, I am giving you advice from Scripture. This time, I'm going to flip it around a little bit because gratitude is one of those things that works whether you're a Christian or not. It works. It's the same as growth, gratitude, and generosity. I do see there's a connection between all three of those. And quite frankly, how I came across those connections is I found out when I was coaching people, when I was a life coach, and coaching people, that was my ideal client. Those were the ones that I could connect with the best and work with the best. People who knew they needed were valued growth, generosity, and gratitude. And you know what? None of my clients were Christians. I connected more with people who wanted to become better, who wanted to change, who wanted to grow. I have more in common with them than I do with people in the pew who think they got it all, or they got enough, they got their ticket to get in. It's absolutely what's the word? Well, it's these things are universal. They work everywhere. And because of that, psychologists have studied gratitude, and we can take what they've learned and apply it to our own lives. And that's what I'm doing in this these 6 ways to increase gratitude. I'm not bringing in scripture, although I probably should. I can probably find these things. I'm going to bring in what the psychologists have studied and give us. Okay, so the first way to increase your gratitude, it's called savoring. Psychologist Jessica Coleman encourages these 3 phases of savoring. There's anticipation, there's present enjoyment, and there's reminiscence. And when you bring those 3 together, you want to anticipate the event with positive feelings before an event occurs. Now, so many of us, we don't want to get our hopes up too high. That's a phrase I've heard myself say a lot because it can be disappointing. Oh, I'm gonna do this or that, or and you get disappointed. It really, you don't want to put your hope in some things, but you want to enjoy the anticipation, and because the enjoyment of that actually rewires your brain to think differently, to think with gratitude. Then there's present enjoyment, and too often, if I'm meeting with somebody, I'm not really listening to what they're saying. I'm thinking about my response to what they're saying. And you know what? I need to take that time to be grateful in that moment, that present enjoyment. Then there's that reminiscence when you're looking back and you generate positive feelings by looking back on an event and say, you know what? I anticipated that. It came about, and this is what happened. And Lord, thank you. Thank you for all of it. It was awesome. It was great. In those 3 categories, Martin Siegelman, in his book Flourish, identifies 4 kinds of savoring. Now, there's basking, and that's reveling and making the most of a praise or congratulations. What's in Canada, you don't get too big for your britches, right? You take a compliment. I don't bask too much myself, but maybe I should. There's Thanksgiving. There's experiencing or expressing gratitude, and we need to be intentional about Thanksgiving, intentional about showing gratitude. There's marveling, which is so important for us as Christians, being filled with wonder, astonishment, or awe. I can't help but marvel when I see the stars at night, or when I'm in the mountains, or when I'm on the beach, and when I'm around God's creation. I am amazed at God. And when I think about the vastness of the universe, or I think about the intricacy of an atom, it's just like, wow, God. Wow. Thank you. We're on a blue pebble in an ocean of black. And we won't be here without God. We won't be here without His grace and His mercy. Fourth kind of savoring that Martin Siegelman identifies is luxuriating, delighting in the experience of the senses. And that's making the most of being in the zone, being in that time, being in the moment. I've been thinking about this Sunday morning. I joke about it because you don't ask me how my week was Sunday morning, because I can't give you an honest answer, because I can't think about that. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm absolutely notorious for triple booking myself when I book on Sunday morning, because I can go from one conversation and, oh yeah, Monday morning at 10. Oh yeah, Monday morning at 9. Oh, Monday morning at 11. Not a problem. And then I realize that they're all 3-hour meetings, and it's like, oh, you know, sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's the same time I book. It's ridiculous. But what I've been thinking about is, that's about one time in my week where I'm in the moment. And yes, I've got a lot of things to think about. But more importantly, like I've learned to actually look at what God, what are you doing? What's going on in people? What are they, how can I connect with them? How can I connect them with you? And that's the moment stuff that's going on. Now, first way to increase your gratitude, you're increasing your gratitude by rewiring your brain, rewiring your thinking, setting up new pathways in your brain. The first one was savoring. Second one we talked about yesterday, gratitude journal, writing down 3 things that you're truly grateful for that day. And you want them to be, you want to feel that emotion, because it's the emotion that connects the pathways in your brain. So take the time every day to do a gratitude journal. Studies show within 21 days you are more happy, just as happy as if your income doubles. They've studied it. I don't know if it's true, but anyway, try it out. Let me know. Third way is a gratitude essay or a letter. What this is you're grateful to someone, write out a letter to them telling them how grateful you are and why you're grateful. Again, it's the thinking process that you have to go through when you write, put pen to paper. And it actually helps you to rewire the way you think. Now, it makes no difference if you give that letter to someone else, or you just do it and you keep it in a file, or throw it away afterwards. It's the process of writing that down and feeling that emotion and being grateful in that. Now, if it's appropriate, you can give the person the letter, because they're going to feel the results of your gratitude, and it's going to encourage them. And so as long as it's, as long as it's appropriate. And I'm just thinking, if men start writing my wife letters about how their gratitude, I might not be appropriate. But when it's appropriate, send a letter. Fourth way to increase your gratitude is to have a gratitude partner. Now, we've talked so much about having a prayer partner. Prayer partner may be the perfect person to be your gratitude partner. Too often, like in churches, we put prayer request. We never bring the praise report, because it's tough to keep up on those things. And often when we have a prayer partner, it's like need. And we forget to say answer. So, maybe go to someone and say, can I be a gratitude partner with you? Go to your prayer partner and say, let's start with gratitude, because gratitude is the basis for all our prayer. And it might be something really good to consider. That accountability, it helps rewire the brain again, right? Number 5 is to think on the feeling of gratitude. We've touched on this already. Our feelings help rewire the connections in our brain. And just think about, what does it feel like to be grateful? Think about your kids. Think about your spouse. Think about the things that you've experienced that you're grateful for, and make it part of your regular routine. Maybe start that way when you come to God in prayer. We enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. And if we start that way, just thinking on that feeling of gratitude, God, you've made me, you've done so much for me. and I am grateful. It'll change your thinking, and that change in thinking changes how you respond automatically. That's what I'm getting at here. I don't, it's these are things that we do that actually make us who we are. Yeah, we won't unpack that. Um, Sixth way, I just want to be quick here. Express gratitude directly. And you know what? I just experienced this week. On Sunday, we had a snow day. Um, I was so I was so blessed by everyone who came to the service. I was so blessed by the ones who came for prayer at the start. So blessed by the ones who did the music. It was a wonderful time of worship that we had as we gathered together. So grateful for the ones we were on setup, and so many people, they stayed around and they got I turned around afterwards to and everything was put away already. So grateful for our church family. I need to become intentional about thanking people specifically. It doesn't take me a long time to send a text or an email or to give a phone call and just let people know how grateful I am. When I do that, it rewires my brain. It gets me thinking God's thoughts. And that's a great way to think about it. Yes, science has studied gratitude. We know the benefits of it. It is one of the key things to this whole human existence that we experience. But it's God's way, and His way leads to His thoughts. And I think it's a wonderful thing for us to always grow in gratitude. So I hope these things help, and let me know how it goes. I'm Trevor Lund. Have a great week.